When we think about the American Revolution, we kind of picture this straight line to victory, right? But what if I told you the whole thing almost fell apart right at the very beginning? That's what we're digging into today. That moment when the dream of independence was on the verge of becoming a total nightmare. Welcome to The Fragile Thread of Liberty. So picture it. It's July 1776. The Declaration of Independence is signed. You can just imagine the scene, right? Bells are ringing, people are cheering in the streets. It's this moment of pure, unfiltered hope. A brand new nation is born. Or, well, so they thought. And then, bam, reality hits. And it hits hard. Before the ink on that famous document was even dry, the revolution was pretty much on life support. The party was definitely over. The war had begun, and America was, to put it bluntly, losing badly. And this brings us right to our first section, a cause on the run. Because you see, declaring your independence is one thing. Actually winning that independence against the biggest superpower in the world, yeah, that's where things got really, really complicated. The British response was just swift and brutal. I mean, this massive fleet shows up and just descends on New York City, capturing it with what seemed like ease. This wasn't just some military defeat. No, no, no. This was a dagger right to the heart of the revolution. Losing New York meant losing their most important port, and it cut New England off from the other states. It basically handed the British the perfect home base for their operations. The result? An absolute disaster. Washington's brand new Continental Army, totally outgunned and outmaneuvered, was sent running. They were literally chased out of New York all the way across New Jersey in this desperate, chaotic retreat. This wasn't some grand strategy. This was pure survival. The army was broken, it was freezing, and it was on the very brink of just disappearing as everyone's enlistments were about to expire. So, okay, the army is in total shambles. But what about the leaders who kicked this whole thing off? How are they holding up under all this pressure? Well, let's hear from them directly in this next part, Voices from the Crisis. First up, the man himself, George Washington. He writes, "We should on all occasions avoid a general action." I mean, just think about that. This is a stunning thing for a commanding general to admit. He's basically saying, listen, we can't win a fair fight. We just can't. His entire strategy had to shift from trying to win to simply trying not to be completely annihilated. It became a game of cat and mouse, and Washington knew he was the mouse. Then you've got John Adams, one of the key architects of this whole revolution. He writes, "The war is not yet decided." Now, this isn't some kind of propaganda or a pep talk for the public. This is a stark private admission that the whole enterprise could actually fail. The dream of independence was sitting on a knife's edge. And then there's Thomas Jefferson. So while Washington is on the run and Adams is wrestling with doubt, Jefferson kind of brings it all back to this one simple, incredibly powerful idea. The struggle is for liberty. This is the why. This is the fuel for the fire. It's the reason they're all enduring this incredible suffering. It's a crucial reminder of what was truly at stake. So you've got the soldier, the politician, and the philosopher, all of them grappling with the exact same crisis from their own unique perspectives. And together, their voices really paint this vivid picture of a revolution on the brink, which leads us perfectly to our final section, hanging by a thread. And it really, truly was that fragile. I mean, one more lost battle, one more brutal winter, another wave of soldiers just giving up and going home, and the American experiment would have been over before it ever really began. It would have just been a footnote in British history, a failed rebellion. The revolution was hanging by a single, unbelievably fragile thread. Which leaves us with a question that's just as relevant today as it was way back in 1776. How much must be sacrificed for an idea? When all the odds are stacked against you and the goal seems totally impossible, what is it that keeps you going? It's something to think about. Thanks for joining me.